How's it going to all you good parents out there? Today I'm going to be showing you step by step how to set up your Sportspower 14-foot trampoline. Let's get started. Okay, we have the box open, so let's lay everything out nice and organized like. Now we have everything all laid out nice and organized. Some of these pieces look kind of the same, but you've got your net here on the bottom for around the trampoline. This is what you'll actually be bouncing on. This is the spring guard. These thin metal ones will end up going around the net to make it circular. Then you've got two different types of short ones. This one's got this tiny hole in the bottom, but there's also short ones that are about the same length that have these bigger holes. So we've also got two types of ones that have foam on them, ones that are straight and ones that are curved. Just don't want to get anything mixed up. Your instruction manual, the springs, all the little pieces you'll be working with. Here's the parts list. Everything's labeled with a key number. So when we're going through, the instructions will tell us to use these numbers and they will correspond. So if you need to pause and come back to this in case you lost your manual, here is your backup. Now we will begin the trampoline frame assembly. These are the parts you're going to need right here. So we will gather all of these parts and we will lay them out as such. Okay, now we have everything set up according to this diagram here. Let's go and take a closer look at one of the cross sections here so you can see exactly how to do this. We'll use this section right here. So we've got piece number 5 at the bottom here, and then we've got on the left side we've got a 6A, which is this short piece. And this short piece, when you're laying it flat on the ground, this end has a little hole on it, and that needs to be facing the ground for when you connect it. It'll have to be connected on the outside. This 6B piece has 2 holes on it, and on this side, on the other side, the hole is bigger. So that side needs to be on the ground. On the next page of the instructions, you'll see larger indented hole must face outward. So in order to face outward, we'll be lifting it up to place it, but it'll need to be on the ground. All right, so you've got pieces 3 and 4 circling. So in between each space is this number 3, and this one hooks onto the supports right here. And then holding the pieces together, which will slide into here, you've got piece 4. So you got a 3, then a 4, then a 3, then a 4, all the way around. So this is what it needs to look like. We'll start attaching everything and putting it together. Now we're going to connect the vertical leg extensions 6A and 6B to the leg base, which is this one right here. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to connect each one of these to the leg base. I'm going to stand this up. I've got this little hole facing outward. And go ahead and connect these. They're a little tough, but so now I've got the hole on this side. I'm going to connect my other one and make sure that the large hole is facing outward, which will be this way, and connect that. Alright, I'm going to go around and do that for all of them. Side note, I had to use a rubber mallet to get some of those to go on. Alright, those are all assembled. Let's move on to the next step here, which is lift 2 sets of leg supports assembled in step 2. So we're going to lift 2 of them, one here and one here, into a vertical position. Connect one end of the top rail with leg socket number 3 to vertical leg extension with one hole 6A. So it wants us to take this number 3 right here, which is that piece, and connect one to 6A, which is this, and the other to 6B, which is that one. And again, a reminder, make sure the holes on all the steel tubing parts are aligned and facing outward. This is important for installing the enclosure later. So remember, when we're standing this up, you got to have this little hole on the outside. And we've got this hole on the outside. Over here we've got the larger indented hole on the outside. So let me go get someone to help and I'll put it together. Alright, I've started assembling it here, stood it up, and we've got, this is our 6A pole here, and then you've got your 3 running across into the 6B. You can see that these holes are going to line up. Let's make sure they line up. And then on the outside, you can see that little hole that we had, maybe. You want that to line up right there. So I'm going to go around, and I'm going to connect each one of these. Now step 3, the top rail assembly. We'll complete the trampoline frame by inserting all of the top rails, number 4, which are these guys, into the top rail with leg sockets number 3 as shown below. This has a male and a female end. So we've got a female end right here, and this one will fit over here. Let's go ahead and put this side in, and then put this side in over here. And do that for the rest. Now we can move on to step 4, secure the leg support to the top rail. So in a nutshell, we'll be doing this to 6A. We'll have a washer, a screw, and the screwdriver. We're going to secure one side, which is 6A, using the self-locking screw, which is number 1. So we've got our number 1 screws right here, our number 10 washers right here, and if you don't have a screwdriver, it comes with one right here. Let's get these out and secure it. Well, I've completely mangled it, but it looks like on the back it's perforated, and you can get your pieces out from the back without losing all of them. So that's what I'm attempting to do now. Looks like you might need a knife. Okay, this part's simple enough. You're just going to need a washer and then a screw, and we're going to tighten it right here. Alright, it's way better if you use a drill for this part instead of that little screwdriver if you've got one. Now we're going to install the trampoline mat. So to do this, we're going to be using the springs and of course the mat over here. And number 9, the spring loading tool. And there's the spring loading tool. So to install the spring, we're going to hook one end of the spring into the triangle ring on the mat, then pull the other end with the spring loading tool, underhand, and latch it to the corresponding hole on the frame. Then we're going to tap on the spring with the handle of the spring loading tool to make sure it is securely latched. There's a total of 72 springs. For even distribution of spring tension and ease of assembly, the springs must be always installed in the opposite sides of the matter in an alternating manner. Example 1, then 37, followed by 19, and then 55. I have number 1 installed over there. I did count all the way around just to be sure. Straight across is number 37 here. And I started with both warning labels because they're directly across from each other. So this is the idea, and I'll get one later. That one I can actually do by hand. Now I have 3 sides complete, so I'll go over and attach number 19. Now the first 4 springs are installed, so we'll move on to the next step. The next step is to install springs 10, 28, 46, and 64. So we got to do 10, then 46, then 28, then 64. Okay, I'll show you how to attach the spring. So you'll take one end, hook it right here, take your spring loading tool right here, pull it across to where you're going, and slip it out, and then you'll give it a tap. Like that. Now we have the first 8 springs in. Now we'll go to step 8, and this is just putting all of the rest of the springs in the same way you put the other ones in. Springs must be placed on opposite sides of the mat in alternating manner. That's all 72 springs. Now it's actually starting to look like a trampoline. So we'll move on to the frame pad assembly. So we got to lay the frame pad over the trampoline so the springs and steel frame are fully covered. Make sure that the frame pad is placed with the warning label beside a leg frame so it will be aligned with the enclosed entrance. Okay, so they want this warning label beside a leg frame so you can see it when you get in and out. Alright, let's go ahead and get this up here. Alright, next we're going to assemble the enclosure poles. So we're dealing with letter B here, which are these straight ones that have the 2 holes in the bottom. They got 1 hole up top, and it says the small hole must face outward. So that's going to face outward, and then we'll attach with these 2 poles, or these 2 holes on the bottom, using F, E, J, G, and H. So first we have to attach this end cap to the lower frame of the tubes. Those go in with a little push, so we'll connect the rest. So next I'm going to be dealing with this E part here, which is the gap spacer. And it says that for this to be facing the right way, the smaller arc of the gap spacer must face the lower frame tube with foam. So it's going to be facing out with its lower arc. So these can actually be pre-installed right here. So if you're looking at this piece, this part is the smaller part of the arc. So you've got a longer part and a smaller part. The smaller part will face out. It doesn't go all the way through. So I'm just going to set those there for now. It's partway assembled. So we've got the screw here, that's F, going through the gap spacer, that's E. The hole up here, which is covered by the foam right now, which is okay, is facing outward. So let's go ahead and get the washers J, G, and H on the back here. So first on the left, we've got the arc washer, then the large spring lock washer, and then the cap. We'll put those on the back. Okay, first we'll put this arc one on here, and it's going to arc towards the trampoline. And then we'll put our regular washer on. And then we'll secure it. And we'll screw it from the front while we hold the back. Now you can tighten these up using the tools provided. We've got all those on. So now we can move on to the next step, which is assemble the enclosure top frame. So for this step, there's 12 flat pieces of steel labeled C1 that need to be connected to form the enclosure top frame. I need to put them in 2 groups of 6 and secure them together with the flat steel socket C2 and bolt and cap nut, it's P and Q, with the Allen wrench and the regular wrench. Let's go ahead and get these laid out. Okay, here we've got our parts. This is C2, this right here is your Q, right here is P, and I've got the C1s laid out right here. And now I'll start attaching them. Okay, we got the first 2 pieces I'm going to attach here. So this will just slide on here. And the other end, once you slide on the other side, then we'll go ahead and attach it. So you can use this tool to screw it together. It'll attach on the back here, and you'll just hold it and tighten it. Now I have those all attached. One end is going to look like this, where there's one missing, and that's so we can attach it once we wrap it all the way around. The other end will be blank. Alright, now we're going to do this down here. We're going to inset the 2 sets of assembled flat steel frames into the sleeve at the top of the enclosure netting, as shown in this diagram. So one side we'll put in the blank end, and the other end we'll put in the one with the attachment, and we'll get those through and end up attaching them on the next page. I got the nut laid out here. I'm going to start threading from over here. Here's my door. This is going to be the top of the trampoline. You can see the zipper down there. So go ahead and start threading this in. Okay, one side's threaded, we'll get the other one in. Make sure to put in the opposite way you did the other one so you can fasten them at the end. Alright, we got both sides threaded through. I already semi-attached this side. I still got to secure it. This is what it'll look like on the other side. Alright, I was able to put this together myself. You just pull them apart and then slide it in there. I did not need 3 people for that step like the directions showed. Alright, that one's secure. And now they're all secure. So we'll move on to the next step. Next step, attach the enclosure netting to the enclosure top frame. We're going to attach plastic cap R to the top of the upper frame tube with foam, which is this one, the curved ones, the only ones you should have left. Secure with self-locking screw number 1. So we got a few of these number 1 screws yet left, and tighten with the Allen wrench. Take this and attach over that small hole, and then we will tighten it with this little screw here. Attach the assembled plastic cap to the flat steel as shown below. So we'll attach that to that steel frame we just did, and they'll all sit on the ground for now, and I imagine they'll get lifted up here next. Alright, now we need to attach these with the screws facing out to these steel beam right here. Alright, I had to angle this pretty straight up to get that on there, but that goes on pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest. So we're getting close to the end. Now we need to connect the enclosure upper frame to the lower frame. We got to connect all 6 upper frame tube with foam to the lower frame tube with foam. Secure with the self-locking screw. Okay, we got most of them on there, but just so you see, just attaches like that. And you got to make sure the hole lines up, and we'll go ahead and screw that together. Now that you've got it all up, put the last few screws in, and then we'll tie down the net. Okay, now we need to secure the trampoline netting to the trampoline frame using the cords, which there's a bunch of these like shoestrings. Tie one end of the cord to any of the triangle rings. Alright, I got it tied around the triangle. Loop the other end of the cord through the next hole in the net, and then the adjacent triangle ring. Continue in the same manner until the end of the cord is reached, and tie it to a triangle ring. And then we'll go all the way around. So here's basically how they want you to do this. They want you to go up through the net, down through the net, down through the spring, up through the net, down through the net, down through the spring. Tied, up through the net, down through the net, through the spring. Alright, all 72 of those are tied. That takes a while. So now we can proceed to basically the last step. Wrap and tie inner elastic straps on the frame pad around the triangle rings and the outer straps around the trampoline frame. So this has an outer strap and an inner strap. The inner strap is going to get tied to the triangles. The outer strap will get tied to the trampoline frame. And in the occasion that you have a strap near a leg socket, you want to wrap them behind the leg socket and then tie a one-sided bow in front of it. Go ahead and tie one so you know what to do. Here we can see underneath, I've got this tied to the metal triangle right here and tied to the bar right here. Once you get all those tied down, your trampoline is finished. So make sure you read all the safety rules, keep it closed and latched up when you're not using it. And I really hope this video helps a lot of you out there build your trampoline in a timely manner. So have fun, be safe, and thanks for watching.